George Orwell, the pen name of Eric Arthur Blair, stands as one of the 20th century's most incisive moral voices, a writer whose unflinching clarity exposed the dangers of totalitarianism, propaganda, and social injustice. Born on June 25, 1903, in Motihari, Bengal, India, to a middling Anglo-Indian civil servant father and a French-educated mother, Blair spent his early childhood in colonial comfort before being sent to England at age 8. The family settled in Henley-on-Thames, where his mother's progressive circle contrasted sharply with the rigid class snobbery he encountered at preparatory school, and later at Eton, which he attended on scholarship from 1917 to 1921. These experiences of social humiliation and imperial hypocrisy profoundly shaped his hatred of authority and his lifelong sympathy for the oppressed. Rejecting university, Blair joined the Indian Imperial Police in Burma in 1922, serving 5 years before resigning in disgust at the machinery of empire, an episode that informed his first novel, Burmese Days, 1934, and the essays A Hanging and Shooting an Elephant. Returning to Europe in 1927, Blair deliberately immersed himself in poverty, living among tramps in London and Paris to understand the lives of the dispossessed. These experiences produced his first book, Down and Out in Paris and London, 1933, published under the pseudonym George Orwell to spare his family embarrassment. The name, George for England's patron saint, Orwell for a Suffolk river, signaled his adopted identity as a plain-spoken Englishman committed to truth. Throughout the 1930s, he worked odd jobs, bookshop assistant, teacher, grocer, while writing novels such as A Clergyman's Daughter, 1935, and Keep the Aspidistra Flying, 1936, sharp satires on middle-class pretension and money worship. In 1936, he married Eileen O'Shaughnessy, an intelligent, supportive woman whose quiet strength sustained him through hardship. They adopted a son, Richard, in 1944. Orwell's political awakening deepened during the Spanish Civil War. Fighting for the Republican side with the POUM militia in 1937, he was shot through the throat and witnessed the Stalinist suppression of anarchist and Trotskyist factions, a betrayal that radicalized him against Soviet communism while preserving his democratic socialism. Homage to Catalonia, 1938, his vivid account of the war alienated leftist publishers but established his reputation for fearless honesty. The late 1930s brought personal tragedy, his father's death, financial struggle, and the outbreak of World War II, during which Orwell served in the Home Guard and broadcast propaganda for the BBC's Indian service, an ironic role he later despised. Amid these experiences emerged Orwell's undisputed masterpiece, 1984, published in 1949 shortly before his death. Written during 1947-1948 on the remote Scottish island of Jura, where he retreated seeking relief from tuberculosis, the novel distills his accumulated warnings about totalitarianism into a terrifying vision of a future dystopia. In the superstate of Oceania, ruled by the omnipresent Big Brother, protagonist Winston Smith labors to rewrite history at the Ministry of Truth while secretly rebelling against the party's absolute control over truth, language, and thought. Concepts such as newspeak, doublethink, and the thought police capture the mechanisms by which authoritarian regimes, whether fascist or communist, destroy individual freedom and objective reality. The book's final, crushing image of Winston loving Big Brother remains one of literature's most devastating indictments of power's capacity to break the human spirit. 1984 surpasses even Orwell's earlier masterpiece, Animal Farm, 1945, a brilliant allegorical satire of the Russian Revolution in scope and lasting impact. While Animal Farm exposed Stalinist corruption through fable, 1984 confronts the broader nightmare of perpetual surveillance, linguistic manipulation, and the erasure of truth itself. Written in plain, forceful prose that reflects Orwell's lifelong commitment to clarity, The novel transcends its immediate Cold War context to warn against all forms of ideological extremism. Its vocabulary, Orwellian, Big Brother, thought crime, has entered everyday language, testament to its prophetic power in an age of misinformation and state surveillance. Orwell's personal life ended tragically early. Diagnosed with tuberculosis in 1938, he endured repeated hemorrhages and hospitalizations. Eileen's sudden death in 1945 during surgery devastated him. He proposed to several women afterward, but remained essentially alone on Jura, typing the final pages of 1984 while gravely ill. Hospitalized in 1949, he married Sonia Brownell in his hospital bed in a final gesture of hope. He died on January 21, 1950, at age 46, from a lung hemorrhage. Buried in a quiet English churchyard under his real name, Eric Arthur Blair, Orwell left a legacy of moral courage and linguistic precision that continues to illuminate the perils of power and the necessity of truth. In 1984, his greatest work, he achieved what he valued most, a warning so clear and compelling that it might help prevent the future it describes. George Orwell, a prolific author and commentator of the 20th century, is perhaps best known for his scathing critiques of totalitarianism and his insightful explorations of the nature of power, language, and morality. Orwell was born Eric Arthur Blair in 1903 in India and came to define an era with his works, including 1984 and Animal Farm. This essay aims to explore the significance of Orwell's writings in the context of contemporary society, arguing that his insights not only remain relevant, but are also crucial for understanding the complexities of our current socio-political climate. Orwell's literary prowess transcends mere storytelling. He crafts narratives that serve as profound social commentaries. His experiences in the Spanish Civil War and his disdain for totalitarian regimes profoundly shaped his perspective. In Orwell's view, language is not merely a tool for communication, but a weapon that can be wielded for manipulation. This insight is particularly pertinent in today's world, where the manipulation of language has reached unprecedented levels through media, politics, and technology. In his essay, Politics and the English Language, Orwell argues that the decay of language is indicative of the decay of thought. He highlights how vague language obscures meaning and facilitates political manipulation. As political discourse becomes increasingly convoluted and filled with euphemisms, Orwell's warnings resonate profoundly. Consider the recent trend in political rhetoric, characterized by the use of terms like collateral damage and enhanced interrogation techniques. These phrases serve to sanitize the often brutal reality of war and human rights abuses. Orwell's assertion that political speech and writing are largely the defense of the indefensible is evident in such manipulations, which are designed to obscure the truth rather than elucidate it. Moreover, Orwell's concept of newspeak, the intentionally impoverished language of the totalitarian regime in 1984, offers a chilling prediction of how language can be manipulated to control thought. The purpose of newspeak is to eliminate the possibility of rebellious thoughts, hence limiting the range of intellectual freedom. In contemporary society, we witness a parallel in the emergence of politically correct language, which, while founded on good intentions, risks becoming a tool for censorship and control. The balance between promoting inclusivity and stifling open discourse is delicate, and Orwell's warnings encourage vigilance. If we are to honor the freedoms of expression and thought, we must navigate this landscape carefully, remaining cautious of language that seeks to restrict rather than liberate. Orwell's exploration of the relationship between power and truth is another area where his relevance endures. In 1984, the slogan, "War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength," epitomizes the paradoxes of totalitarian thought. This manipulation of reality serves to disorient the populace, rendering them incapable of questioning the contradictions of their existence. Today, we find ourselves facing a similar battle against misinformation and the prevalence of alternative facts. In a world inundated with data and competing narratives, discernment becomes paramount. Orwell's assertion that if the truth is not out there, it must be in here, compels us to seek out truth, even amidst overwhelming falsehoods. The rise of social media and the internet has transformed how we consume information, often blurring the lines between fact and fiction. Orwell's concepts of doublethink and thought police manifest in contemporary society's policing of narratives, where dissenting opinions are often silenced in the face of majority sentiment. The ethical dilemmas posed by social media platforms in their role as arbiters of truth resonate with Orwell's predictions about the dangers of shrinking individual thought in favor of collective ideology. We must remain vigilant against the pressures to conform to popular opinion at the cost of truth, echoing Orwell's plea for individual intellectual autonomy. A poignant aspect of Orwell's work is his exploration of surveillance and privacy. In 1984, the omnipresent figure of Big Brother serves as a chilling reminder of the consequences of a state that monitors its citizens at every turn. The slogan, "Big Brother is watching you," has entered the cultural lexicon as a cautionary phrase against invasive state practices. Today, as we embrace technology that facilitates communication, we also inadvertently invite surveillance into our lives. The collection of personal data by corporations and governments alike raises pressing questions about consent and autonomy. Orwell's insights compel us to examine our relationship with technology critically and to demand transparency and ethical practices in how our data is used. Furthermore, Orwell's exploration of identity and individuality is particularly relevant in an age that often prizes conformity over uniqueness. The protagonist of 1984, Winston Smith, occupies a world where individual thought is an act of rebellion. Orwell illustrates the struggle of the individual against oppressive structures, urging readers to resist the forces that seek to homogenize thought. Contemporary pressures to conform, whether through social media trends, political ideologies, or cultural expectations, highlight the challenges individuals face in asserting their identities. By examining Orwell's treatment of individuality, we are reminded of the importance of nurturing our distinctiveness while remaining open to diverse perspectives. Additionally, Animal Farm serves as a powerful allegory for the betrayal of revolutionary ideals. The novella illustrates how power can corrupt even the most noble of intentions, highlighting the vulnerability of social movements to authoritarianism. As we grapple with movements aimed at social justice and reform, Orwell's cautionary tale reminds us to remain vigilant against the potential erosion of those aims as power consolidates. The quest for equality can easily devolve into oppression if those in power are not held accountable. This is especially pertinent in light of recent protests and movements advocating for change, underscoring the need for continuous reflection on the means and ends of activism. Orwell's influence extends beyond the realm of literature. He has permeated popular culture and political discourse, becoming a touchstone for discussions around freedom, power, and justice. His insistence on creative expression as a form of political resistance resonates with activists globally. As we engage with Orwell's works, it is vital to carry forward the values he championed: truth, individuality, and intellectual freedom. In a world increasingly defined by chaos, division, and misinformation, Orwell's calls for critical reflection and moral clarity are more essential than ever. George Orwell's writings possess an uncanny ability to elucidate the complexities of contemporary society. His insights into language, power, and individual autonomy serve as both warnings and guiding principles. As we navigate a world fraught with challenges, ranging from the erosion of privacy to the manipulation of truth, Orwell's legacy urges us to remain vigilant, to question, and to speak out against the injustices that permeate our lives. In honoring his work, we become stewards of the ideals for which he fought, a society grounded in truth, integrity, and the belief that individual voices matter. Thus, despite the passage of time, Orwell's relevance endures, echoing through the corridors of our modern existence as a clarion call for integrity and resistance against oppression.